It's now on Cap KVU Local News.
Welcome back. Good evening. I'm Amanda Quintana.
And Mike Gonzalez, thanks for joining us. Well, if you haven't noticed, summer by. We are in that
sad.
Seasonal transition state,
Yes.
that's for sure.
Well, Jason Valentine is here with your Cap KVU First Alert forecast.
It makes me happy. I love the word equinox, and that's going to be hitting. I do like saying that. It's coming Friday for our fall season to be official, but we're feeling very fall-like. And again, we had a tornado alert in this area when I return later in the show.
All right, Jason, speaking of weather news, we just got word from the AP. The big hurricane over the Caribbean, Maria, now a Category 5 going over the area called Dominica. We'll have much more on that throughout this newscast. Other news tonight, if you're just joining us, we continue to follow updates on the man recovering from a shootout with police over the weekend. Pasco police responding to a domestic violence call just before midnight. Police say a 31-year-old male suspect began firing a pistol at officers. 3 officers then fired back, wounding him. The man was taken to the hospital, is expected to recover, though. No officers were hurt in the shooting. The Special Investigations Unit is now leading this investigation. The officers are on administrative leave.
It's an emotional school day for students at Freeman High School today. The campus looks the same but feels very different. It's their first day back in the classroom since Wednesday's tragedy, a shooter taking the life of a fellow classmate, Sam Strahan, and injuring 3 others. School leaders have been working to make sure everyone feels safe. Now counselors are in every classroom in the district, connecting with students at the elementary, middle school, and high school levels.
Love will always win over hate, and that when you're together, you can figure out how to climb any mountain. And you know, we have been up a serious mountain, and we've got some mountains to climb.
Substitutes and retired teachers return to the school with group discussions and activities planned for today. Students and staff standing together to get through the pain. As for suspected shooter Caleb Sharp, he will be facing 1 count of first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. He is expected in court again next Tuesday.
There's lots of gratitude tonight to local first responders who are making some progress on wildfires around the region. Jolly Mountain fire, sparked by lightning more than a month ago, is burning about 36,000 acres 6 miles outside of Cle Elum. For a long time, crews really struggled, but with the cooler, damper weather, they've reached 40% containment. Many homes are under evacuation orders. You can find links to maps and updates on our website, yaktrinews.com. Norris Peak fire nearby is one of 13 ignited by lightning storms. It's now more than 56,000 acres, 11 miles west of Cliffdale in Yakima County. 3 people were hurt but are doing okay. 661 firefighters are battling the flames, gaining 12% containment tonight. SR 410 will remain closed from SR 123 Bumping River Road. Homes in both Pierce and Yakima counties are affected. Goose Prairie families along Bumping River Road are still being told to evacuate. And progress in the battle for the Columbia River Gorge.
The fire, allegedly started by a teenager, is now closer to containment. The Eagle Creek fire near Hood River is up to 48,000 acres and is 32% contained. Several structures have already been destroyed, but rain this weekend is helping gain some ground. With better weather, crews expect the fire to grow more slowly, but say we'll still be getting smoke. I-84 eastbound remains closed due to hazards from falling trees, rocks, and mud.
Cheney community is mourning the loss of 46-year-old father Cameron Smith. Smith's body was found off Route 904 near 4 Lakes on Friday, 5 days after being kidnapped at gunpoint in front of the Lucid Marijuana shop in Cheney where he worked. 36-year-old Donovan Klupps and his 18-year-old niece took off in Smith's car with him inside when they were refused service inside the marijuana shop. Klupps was captured in Goldendale on Thursday. Violetta's still on the run tonight. The owner of the Lucid Marijuana shop says he is planning a memorial service, but plans have not yet been finalized. The shop is raising money to send Smith's body to his family in Toledo, Ohio.
Oregon State Police are investigating a death at the Two Rivers Correctional Institution in Umatilla. This is the 5th inmate to unexpectedly die at the prison in the last year. Sunday morning, 23-year-old Kenneth Allen became unresponsive in his cell. Despite life-saving efforts, Allen was pronounced dead. He had been in custody since January of last year for theft and possession of heroin. Another 6 inmates have died at other Oregon State prisons just this year.
Yakima resident says she didn't get the fuel that she paid for at a gas station in Toppenish. Listen to this story. Alicia Salazar says she went to pump some gas with her husband on Sunday morning at Yakimart. They paid $20 for gas and only inserted about $4 of gas into a generator they were trying to fill up. And once they pulled the nozzle out to add the rest into their car pump, the machine kept running the numbers, but it didn't give them any gas. Salazar says she immediately went inside the store, told the cashier about it. Salazar says the cashier told her, hey, we are getting a lot of complaints and they're aware of what's going on, but that all he could do was get her name and number, but he could not give her the money back.
Some people only have $5 for gas, and if they're taking 2 or 3, then they're only left with so little, and that's the point that really matters.
We reached out to the state's Motor Fuel Quality and Enforcement Office, which says since the station is on tribal land, the Yakima Nation Tribal Council has control. We reached out to them and they haven't responded yet. We also reached out to the Yakima owner and he says only Tribal Council can comment, so we'll continue to follow this trail.
The Department of Health says high rates of local birth defects are because of low vitamin intake, not from Hanford radiation. DOH partnered with the Benton Franklin Health District and the Yakima Health District to investigate potential causes of anencephaly in infants, a fatal birth defect affecting babies' brains. The health district says elevated instances of the rare disorder prompted the study, with some people worried radiation from Hanford could be the cause. But Dr. Amy Person says the defects were linked to low levels of folic acid, now hoping mothers take vitamin intake seriously.
They do those kind of things. They're not going to just help prevent anencephaly or other birth defects, but they're going to help prevent a whole host of other problems.
Persons also says more funding is needed to educate the community.
Local students left wondering what will happen to their DACA status got to speak with an immigration attorney about their options. WSU Tri-Cities hosted a forum this afternoon with attorney Eamon Roach addressing students' questions and concerns about the DACA program. This forum follows President Trump's recent decision to end the DACA program, now giving Congress until March to decide on a new immigration policy. DACA recipients say they're worried.
I feel more scared than anything. I would say it's just kind of like what's gonna happen next, but thinking like my brothers don't have the chance now to apply for it, it's terrifying.
And Yepes hopes Congress will reinstate the DACA program come March. She worries she will have to give up her job and her studies.
And Yakima City Council is pushing for support of those undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. The council is expected to review a letter during Tuesday night's meeting that was supposed to be mailed to President Donald Trump in support of DACA students, but will now be sent to the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives. The letter points to the Yakima Valley's immigrant workforce and DACA's ability to allow children of immigrant workers to live out the American dream.
The letter that they had been considering was no longer relevant. So the direction that we got from council, the direction that was given to staff, was to rewrite that letter, make it more about immigration reform in general and specifically about the DREAM Act.
City leaders say this step is in line with the council's federal legislative priorities of comprehensive immigration reform. A proud moment tonight for a West Valley High School student, Congress giving her the highest award for youth.
Yeah, quite an accomplishment here. The goal is for students to set and achieve challenging goals in public service, personal development, physical fitness, and exploration. Frida Raj, a senior student in Yakima, was given the Congressional Award Silver Medal by Congressman Dan Newhouse for her community service and personal development. Raj's work with a local hospital and community service earned her the award.
It was a learning experience as much as it was for me to give back, because that was kind of an added bonus of me learning the hospital environment and just being around it and seeing things happen.
Raj's goal is to be a doctor or an emergency physician to continue helping her community. More than 80 arrests so far with no end in sight.
Still ahead on your only source for news at 6:30, protests continue in St. Louis over a deadly officer-involved shooting. We hear from all sides.
Now let's take a live look outside at Kennewick thanks to the City Camera Trails Health Southridge. Good looking shot there. Jason Valentine right back with your forecast.
With fall hitting in the afternoon of Friday. For the Tri-Cities region, again, 58-year high on Wednesday. But the good news, that front last night has made us have no air quality alerts for the first time in a month.
All right, Jason, that looks pretty good when you compare to what we're about to tell you about. We continue to follow this breaking news out of the Caribbean. Category 5 hurricane now just making landfall moments ago in the last few minutes.
Hurricane Maria just hit Dominica and the Caribbean islands with winds around 160 miles an hour. The islands just went through Irma, hundreds of buildings now destroyed and thousands without much protection. Meanwhile, Hurricane Jose is threatening the east coast of Florida. It's not expected to reach land, but forecasters warn it will cause dangerous surf and rip currents. A tropical storm warning is in effect for that area until Jose weakens later in the week. Tonight, protesters say they won't stop until there's justice.
Coming up, the latest on multiple groups in St. Louis protesting an officer-involved shooting with a tough promise by law enforcement tonight. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Tonight, it's shattered glass and pavement.
But also thousands of broken hearts this evening. Protesters expected again to hit the streets of St. Louis.
ABC's Lana Zach has more on why they're protesting police and a look at both sides.
At ABC News, Washington.
Lana, thanks so much. Well, tonight he's making international waves.
That's right, but hopes to put America first. Up next, a look at President Trump's day at the United Nations and what it could mean for you looking ahead at tomorrow. Welcome back. As global tensions rise with threats from North Korea and terror groups, President Donald Trump is now diving into the United Nations.
That's right. He was critical of the UN during his campaign, and now ABC's Ariel Reshef reports now he's trying to massage the system a little bit to get what he says the U.S. needs and wants.
President Trump spending his Monday at the United Nations with rapid-fire meetings on the sidelines of the General Assembly. During his debut at the diplomatic epicenter, the commander-in-chief pushing for reform.
We encourage the Secretary General to fully use his authority to cut through the bureaucracy, reform.
All right, it's gotten chilly quick, guys, huh?
Fall is here, and after that summer, I gotta say, I don't mind it.
Neither do I. I'm going to take it for
But Amanda,
at least it's not winter.
I understand that, but it would have been nice if we had some more 80-degree days.
Yeah, that would be.
Let's take a look at our current temperatures. It is chilly, mid to upper 50s. Get ready for similar conditions tomorrow. More showers on and off, more on Wednesday.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Have a great night.